Like 3 more minutes.
Wait, I'm answering the question.
It has the application deadline all the time. So yeah, today's one of the days I have to submit. I'm sorry about it. I want everyone on their best behavior.
Oh, you're recording?
Hobbes' idea of a strong central authority with modern ideas of personal freedom and liberty.
Central means that it's going to have balance.
Yes.
What? I said mark the face. It's a tagline. What face?
What does this mean?
Yes. What happens if I don't answer it all?
That's okay. As long as you answer a lot of the questions. Hobbes' idea. It's not about all of them.
It's not fine.
Can you have strong
What is that?
while still having
Oh my god, that's scary. No, that's actually so. I'm not gonna do that. I thought I did.
All right, I think we're gonna get started. It's Harry Potter. Hold on. Harry Potter.
Why don't they have some stuff at the order?
Okay, everyone pencils down. We're going to start discussing these questions.
Together?
Yes, that's together. That's the idea. So, first off, I'll explain this. Okay, so I am recording this. It got moved. Sorry, guys.
It was Jessica.
It's okay. Okay, so I am recording this lesson today because I have to submit it to my university to get credit for it and to one day become a teacher. And I have this little thing because last time when I recorded with just the webcam, the audio was, well, I'm not going to use a bad word, but it was all messed up. Don't say that. So I'm going to hold this mic to your face when you answer these questions, but don't feel intimidated by it. No one is going to see this lesson. No one except for my evaluator. That's it. And me and Mr. Bissell. So, Hobbes and Rousseau. Why are we talking about this today? They have opposing views on things. Sure. So, there's two reasons we're doing this lesson today. One, I wanted to do it a month ago, and I ran out of time, so we weren't able to do it. It was probably more applicable then, but it's still applicable now because we're doing a mini unit on the election. That's next week, right? Right. So, in the election, you have usually two opposing ideologies combating for power over the country, for influence and power over the country. That's politics. And I think these two men can kind of summarize those positions very well. Uh-oh, there we go. All right, so Thomas Hobbes, as you remember, he was an English philosopher. He kind of did most of his works later in his life after the English Civil War. And he saw a lot of horrible stuff during the English Civil War, which made him afraid of chaos and anarchy in society. So as a result, he believed that in order to have an orderly society, you need a strong central government, a strong central figure to sort of create peace and order in society. Because he believed that a tyrant was preferable to chaos. Chaos, yes, tyrant, an unjust ruler. So, believe it or not, he would probably say everyone should submit to Kim Jong-un or Putin. I don't know if he would say that or not, but basically if the alternative was chaos, that's worse. So, and he believed that in a state of nature, man would be just primitive and they would kill each other, fight each other. It would be eternal war. And this is one of his most famous quotes, the condition of man is a condition of war of everyone against everyone. Now, here's Jean-Jacques Rousseau. He thought the exact opposite. So Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a Swiss-born philosopher, moved to Paris in his adulthood, and he was influenced by everything he saw around him. The luxuries of Paris, all the inequalities of Paris. And he was influenced heavily and kind of said that these things are making people sinful. In a true state of nature, mankind would be all equal and free. He was heavily influenced by, remember at the time like Rousseau was alive, America had been discovered by the Europeans. And he was very fascinated with the Native Americans, the tribal lives there. And he came up with the term, the noble savage. His term, not mine. But the way that they lived their lives fascinated him, and he thought that's, the way that they lived their lives was fascinating to him, and he thought that's what people would be like if it wasn't for society and civilization corrupting us. We'd all be equal and free. So his most famous quote, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains." So, what we're going to do now is discuss some of these questions.
Do they know each other?
No. They never lived during the same period. About 100 years difference. Good question. Do you believe mankind's true nature is tilted towards doing evil or doing good? There's no right or wrong answers. I want to hear from them. And I don't want this to be a debate, so no crosstalk. I just want to talk to one person at a time. So who's got a thought? Huey. Yeah, go ahead.
I think they're inherently good because, like how they evolved, they were in tribe and they cooperated and they had empathy.
Okay. So because we all evolved together in tribes, people are naturally cooperative, right? Okay. Who has any other thoughts? Who disagrees with Huey?
Me.
Okay, Angel, what do you think?
I feel like people are always like going towards like doing evil because I don't know. People just do what they want. People don't do what is good because sometimes doing good is boring. And
so I think I see where you're getting at. So do you think that mankind's true nature is selfish? They're going to serve themselves first. Okay, yeah, that's kind of I see where you're going with that. Does anyone agree with Angel? Any more thoughts? So we got one person saying mankind's true nature is good, one person saying mankind's true nature is evil. Who thinks both?
Me.
Okay, that's a majority of hands almost. All right. So I agree with both of you guys. And I agree with everyone who said both. We're inherently cooperative. We work together in society to help one another, but we're also inherently competitive. So there could be a kind of dual nature of man. All right, here's another one. Is violence inherent part of human nature, or is it culturally learned? Who's got a thought here? Okay, Alicia, you talk. That's good. What do you think?
I think that violence is learned because I don't think you're like born with evil in your heart or like you want to do bad things from the jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so violence is learned. Have you ever raised a kid? Are they kind of like they like to fight? You ever had a little brother? I had when I was a little boy, and like my brother and I, we'd fight every day.
Wow.
Did we learn that, or was that nature?
You learned that from UFC.
From UFC, yes. Okay. Any other thoughts?
it's human nature.
It's human nature. What do you think?
I said, I think violence is a part of human nature since everyone has at least thought about fighting someone.
Okay, show of hands. Who's at one point or another thought about getting into a fight with someone they knew? I know it's, okay, we have one honest person, a bunch of people are lying. You've never thought about getting into a fight once. That's good. That's good. I'm happy about hear that. All right. What about this? What aspects of modern life contribute to happiness or unhappiness? Let's go with you. No, I have to get it in the mic, unfortunately. Here.
Money.
Money.
Whoa, I think that too. Me too.
You all think money?
Oh, yeah. Social media.
Social media. Wait, is that happiness or unhappiness?
Can be both.
It can be both.
Rich or poor.
Do you rich people are all happy, poor people are all unhappy?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, so you think it's all poor people who are happy? Oops. All right.
You can have all the money in the world. It's gonna be happy.
Okay, say it in the mic. It's weird to do, but this is the only way I can get
I
credit.
say you can have all the money in the world, but you can still be sad.
Okay.
As long as you have loved ones with you.
Oh, I got to get that. All right. Alicia, say it into the mic.
I think as long as you have loved ones with you, you're happy.
There we are. Okay. So does true happiness come from relationships?
Yes.
Okay. So I could have all the money in the world, but if I was a lonely guy and had no one to share it with, that'd make me pretty unhappy.
Yeah.
How about this? Is happiness a mindset, a perception?
Yes.
Okay, it's both. Okay, so wait, who said both? Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, happiness is how you perceive it. We all have our different types of like happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what makes me happy might not make you happy, and you have a different type of happiness.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
All right. Uh-oh, I got to go back to the slideshow somehow. Where is the slideshow? Oh, here we go. It's going to be a little wonky. Okay, this one's a little of a different one. It's kind of interesting. Rousseau claims that private property is the root cause of inequality. Do you agree with that ownership of property leads to social and political inequality? Yeah? No. No, okay. What are your thoughts, Joe?
I said, like, you could have two of the same people in the exact same situation, and if one guy's just lazier, he could just, like, not get the get the same private property as the other guy. Like you just work a little harder.
Okay. So we believe that like even if they all start equal, like eventually someone's going to work harder than someone else and get more. I got a hand raised, Huey. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. So I think it's true in like cases where the resources are like unequally distributed. Like some people aren't getting the same education as others.
Okay.
So like they have more like more knowledge, more power, and like so they get more like it's unequal.
Who distributes the resources?
Like natural resources, or it's just the government in general?
Well, the government does. Okay. Education. So here's a thought. Okay. So I see where people are getting at. Yes, people are going to outcompete one another and they're going to achieve more property. So inequality is going to happen. And also that like if people don't start within the same playing field, they're never going to be able to be equal. I hear what you guys are saying. So let's go into this next one. Is inequality an inevitable part of human experience?
Yes.
Oh, it is. So you guys all disagree with Rousseau. Because he believed that it was property that made people unequal. And now you all just agree it's inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what. Yeah. Okay. See, Rousseau believed the first man who put his flag in the ground said, this land is mine. This cave is mine. Get out. He did humanity a great disservice because he created inequality. Because whoever had that cave couldn't get access to that cave. And that's what Rousseau thought. But maybe it was always going to happen. There's no situation where we don't have inequality. Yeah. Any thoughts? Alicia? Yeah, you do.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I just think it's like natural. Like if we were all equal, then this world would be too perfect.
Okay. The world would be too perfect if we're all equal.
Hey, remember how I said that violence is necessary?
Yeah, violence is. But did you say violence was necessary?
Well, violence is learned.
Learned. Oh yeah. Okay.
What?
Those are two different claims. All right. So I'll bring up an analogy why I think inequality will never truly exist. So if I train every single day, practice from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, am I ever going to be as good at basketball as LeBron James? No? You guys don't believe in me. Makai, why don't you believe in me?
I said yes.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. He's the one person who's got my back. What?
He's taller than you.
He's taller than me. Is he faster than me?
Probably.
Naturally born.
He was naturally gifted athlete.
Better training than
Better training. Yes.
And he has more practice than you.
What were you going to say, Alicia?
Bro. He has professional practice. More professional practice.
He has more professional practice. But could I train and get to be as good as him?
Well, I mean,
If he tried.
Okay, here's a realistic scenario. I go up to put up a basketball. LeBron just got to stand there and he's swatting everything down. He's about that tall versus me. Switch it up. Okay, I can learn to be a better ball handler. That's true. Yeah. All right, okay. Guys, all right. Hobbes, we're going to switch up to Hobbes now. Hobbes argues for a powerful absolute ruler to maintain peace and order. Do you think an absolute authority is necessary to prevent chaos or a society function with more limited government? Yes. Yes? Well, which you think so? You do need a strong authority to.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I think if there was no leader, then there's like not really any way to understand all the viewpoints like in society from different people, and then you can't make choices that benefits everyone.
Okay. We need a strong authority who can have gather more multiple viewpoints. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
What was that? I can't hear you. Let's.
What if they're overruling like too much? Like they give too much power.
Well, that's the idea. Hobbes is okay with him with a all-powerful ruler. Because remember, Hobbes feared chaos. He feared that if there wasn't some sort of central strong man, authoritarian dictator, that eventually society would be chaos and never be fighting each other. Any more thoughts? Angel?
I feel like with that, if it's just like one person, then they could bring like, instead of bringing chaos, they could bring peace, but they could also bring worse chaos after, or they could just bring chaos in general.
Okay.
And then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, so you could bring it. Let's say you got the best person to be dictator that you possibly could. He has to die eventually. Who takes his place? So like this is a little Soviet Union history. Even if Lenin was, I don't think Lenin was great, but even if Lenin was the true benevolent dictator, Stalin is right there, wants to kill him. He didn't kill him, by the way, but he's ready to take power. So more limited government might prevent a truly evil dictator getting into power. All right. Is it possible to balance Hobbes' idea of a strong central authority with modern ideas like freedom and liberty? Yes. Why do you say that?
America.
Okay, good answer. No, it's a good answer. All right. Any more thoughts? How about someone who hasn't spoken yet? Marielle, do you have any thoughts? Do you think it's a possible way to balance a strong authoritarian with modern ideas of freedom?
What did I say for that? Oh, I just put yes question mark.
Oh, okay. All right. It's okay. It's a difficult question because like what Hobbes, Hobbes was afraid of chaos so much that he preferred the tyrant to just absolute anarchy. Last one. How do you think people would behave if laws were suddenly removed today? Scared? We're going to go back to Huey. Huey.
I think it depends on the community and like their values, because like if they grew up in like a rich cul-de-sac, they're like, you know, they know their people and they'll like be less violent. But if we were in like, you know, the hood or whatever, then yeah.
Well, here's a thought. I actually, I'm not from this rich cul-de-sac. Can I come and take all their stuff? Okay, yeah. Okay, who would steal from their friend if there was no law? Maybe, okay. Every class is answered the same way. I'm shocked by your lack of loyalty for your friends.
About that well, probably.
Oh, this is good. I'm going to show this to the camera. So Mackay, rather than answering the question, drew a picture.
Go Mackay.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty good. Mackay's an artist. All right. So you think it'll be just...
The building on fire.
It'd be buildings on fire, just all chaos. No, don't tease him. He's a good artist. That was good. I like it. It's a one. Oh, you're not Mackay. You're Malachi. Sorry. Sorry. I got a Mackay for you. I wasn't joking. I just forgot. Sorry about that. Okay. That looks embarrassing. That's going to get recorded. All right. So how does any of this relate today? It's difficult to say. So, we have Rousseau and we have Hobbes. They couldn't disagree more about the nature of man. There's a click. Yeah? Sure. You go after her. You guys know these terms? Yeah. What do they kind of mean? Yeah. So these terms apply to politics. So we have two parties in the United States, the Democrats and the Republicans. So politics is not so simple as to say, like, you can measure it on one spectrum. But for simplicity, a lot of people do. Basically, you line up either on the political left or the political right, which means you're either a Democrat or a Republican. And this is you. You're the voter. But you're not alone in voting. There's lots of people who vote with you. And if you spend all this time on social media or the news, this is probably how you think the world is. It's all or nothing. But I don't think this. I think if you meet enough people, talk to enough people, you find out the world's much more like this. Most people are kind of in the middle. Yes, there are people on the left, and yes, there are people on the right, but the vast majority of us are just kind of in the middle, and it depends on what the issues are of the day. So some elections might look like this, some elections might look like this, but at the end of the day, we're all more same than we are different. So the left traditionally has represented liberty, equality, and progress, whereas the right has traditionally represented order, hierarchy, and tradition. And these are all different spectrums that you could actually measure society as. We all want a free society where we're allowed to do what we want without oppression. But we also want an orderly society where we're not victims of crime every day. Same with equality and hierarchy, progress and tradition. All these things matter. And the left traditionally has been more afraid of oppression. The right traditionally has been more afraid of chaos. So really, I believe you need all 6 of these things to make a prosperous society. It's not all or nothing. There's some people in politics who like to think that it's a never-ending war, and eventually one side will win and usher in the utopia. But I don't think that. I think if you think that, that's a little delusional. I like to think of it more as offense and defense on the same team. Progressives are the offense. They're finding new solutions to problems that are growing in society. Whereas the conservatives are the defense. They're trying to prevent us from losing the gains we've already made. So who's right? It's not that simple. It's not simply of all or nothing. So if I can do nothing else as your civics teacher, is I want to stray you away from radicalism. So read these 2 quotes. Okay. That was more metaphorical. We didn't. Okay. Okay, I didn't mean literally read it out loud, but thank you. That works. Leftism starts as compassion for the poor, but ends at contempt for the prosperous. Rightism starts for the respect for the past, but ends at revulsion for the present. So we have a lot of debate over who gets the bathroom pass now.
I'm a radicalist.
Okay.
You let him go?
All right. We're getting all confused. Anyways. So, you can see how a lot of if you get involved in politics, it can start with really positive thoughts. I want to help the poor. I respect the past that I grew up in. But these can quickly change into negative emotions. And you try to avoid going down that path.
What is contempt mean?
Contempt? Oh, contempt means you just dislike, disdain. You don't like it. So it would be another way of saying leftism starts as compassion for the poor, but hatred for the prosperous. So, but with that, that's all I got today. Tomorrow, we're going to go more into the election in detail. We'll show you how to fill out a ballot, all the issues on the ballot, and we're actually going to do an informal vote also. Well, I'm going to collect your votes. But it's all anonymous. So, what? We're all going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay, that's all, you guys. Thank you. I'll collect them. I paid him to do that. All right.